Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right. In this video, I'm going to share with you a very personal side of my life. That is me being a playboy. For those of you who have been following me for many years, like 15 years or so on Facebook and all that, you'd have seen my evolution from being a guy with so many women and flaunting them online and uh, being with so many girls and, sex and literally telling people I will never marry. Marriage is for losers and have fun, enjoy, and not sparing anyone. Anyone who wanted to sleep with me or enjoy with me or have a good time, welcome. Married, not married, divorced, single, whatever. From there to why did I continue? First is wanting to be a playboy, then continuing being a playboy, and finally, why did I discontinue? Okay. In this video, I'll share with you and hope that gives you some insights and some learnings, okay, through my ups and downs and the mistakes, the good, bad, ugly. All right. So before I do move further, name is Loy Machedo. I am a personal branding strategist, helping people get jobs in the Middle East, especially UAE, Dubai. Sometimes I get for Australia, Canada, New Zealand, all that. Not frequently, but I still get UK and all that. And people book my services for personal professional coaching. Okay, details are down below. All right. Now, why am I thinking about sharing this Playboy thing? Because there are a lot of young men out there, young boys, who today sit at home. They sit at home and they'll browse through uh, Pornhub, or they'll swipe through Tinder, or they'll have these chats with I don't know whether it's real or fake, and they want women. They want to date women, but somehow now they are stuck at home with a device in a virtual world. They're not doing it for real. And some of them realize, man, what am I doing? I'm in a virtual world. I want to meet females. Really, I really want to meet physically. And that is where the challenge begins. That is where the problem begins. They realize, sheesh, I don't have any of these skills. So I was just like you. The only difference being is, at least you had the smartphone, at least you had Pornhub, you had Google, you had YouTube, you had podcast, you have Tinder, you have all this. When I was young, we never had all this. Google didn't exist, smartphones didn't exist, there was nothing. You can just Google search or search, watch any movie of the 60s, 70s, 80s. There was not even phone. The only experience we would have is when we go out with our friends, and there you just stand there like this and look at a girl walk, a group of girls in a college or something. So I also wanted to be that popular guy. And I don't know if you know this, there's a comic book called Archie's. When we are young, we used to read Archie's. And in Archie's, I loved Archie because he was the main hero. He used to get all the girls, Betty and Veronica. I don't know if you know all this, but this is what I used to read. But funny enough, I loved Jughead because he used to eat a lot. I don't know why. I just loved Jughead. He appealed to me more than Archie. But what I liked about Archie was he used to get the girls. And then, yes, being introduced to Hollywood movies like James Bond, um, in my days, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jean-Claude Van Damme, who else? Sylvester Stallone, and then obviously the James Bond series. I used to always see these heroes get so many girls, especially James Bond, the guy with the suit and so many girls. And it was a cool thing. It was a very cool thing that if you had so many girls, and especially these rap artists, I was in Sergeant in school. There were a lot of Keralite Mallus and Malayalis, and they used to listen to this R&B songs. And those days it was very old school, and they would say, the girls, and they would dance and bling and all that. So all the guys wanted to be cool. But the coolest guys were the ones with big gangs. I never had any gang. I was one of those weird ones out. But I was good looking, fairly good looking. If you see my old photograph, I was a good looking guy. I would say a little bit like young Shah Rukh Khan. Little bit, not too much. So I was a cute looking guy. Girls used to look at me and I used to look at them. But I was not cool in terms of the gang. I was not cool in terms of the money. I really wanted, you feel nice. And then it automatically came to the realization that the guy who can have gangs, can have money, and can have girls is the cool guy. And obviously, in school, you want to be the cool guy. So I didn't have gangs. I didn't have the money, and neither did I have the big muscles. And some guys were tough with sports, and but I used to do a little bit of bodybuilding, whatever. Just take a dumbbell and push-ups and all that. But one area where I decided I would excel because I was talkative was girls. And in Sarja Indian School, that was a school, that's Sarja Indian School, girls would come in the morning shift, that is from 8 o'clock till maybe 12 or 1. And boys used to come from 2 o'clock till 6. So that 1 o'clock is where the boys and girls are leaving, boys are coming. That is where we would get to see each other. But teachers were there just to make sure nobody interacted. So a lot of girls would see me, I would see a lot of girls, and ooh, those were the glory days. And obviously, my parents were very strict. We didn't have any cell phones, nothing. We just had a phone with a wire. You can just Google search that. Etisalat phone was there. Etisalat is the internet telecom provider. They used to give the phone. My father used to take the receiver and go. Bloody hell, what a asshole, yeah. Stepfather. So there was no way for me to contact. But where there's a will, there's a way. And I was determined to talk to the girls. So I would find out where these girls would stay. Somehow, I would cycle behind the buses. I would find out where they stay. And, obviously they would stand there and wait for the bus. I would try to pass by before, meet up with them. So that was my early puppy love days. I wouldn't call it Playboy days also. And not one girl, different girls. I would make like a map and where they would take the cycle, cheap cycle that I had. My father, stepfather, and mother used to wonder where is going early in the morning, like 6 and all that. They were like, he's just going for whatever exercise, whatever. My exercise was girls. Okay. So I love the thrill of the chase. I love the anticipation. I love meeting these girls in secret. They just give the kiss, peck on the cheek. And ooh, that would be the greatest thing. And I love you and the letters and all that stuff. From there, obviously, as you get older, it goes more into adult related stuff. And there again, when I was working, again, good looking guy, long hair, and that time my physique was a little bit more better. And yeah, you'd meet girls and try to meet them behind the buildings or the staircase and kiss and touch, put your hands here and hands there, and she would touch you there, and you would do this and put her on the wall, and what all you see in the porno movies, you want to try a little bit. So that went on. But I was still not a certified kind of playboy. However, once I started to earn, and there I told you, I became a DJ and, I used to DJ for a few shows, house parties, weddings, where you would get paid $150 just to play for one night. So there, obviously young looking guy, young looking girl, we'd exchange numbers. By that time, I think Alcatel released its mobile phones and Nokia released. So I had the cheapest one they could call and all that. And that is where I think my journey began from the age of 20, meeting girls. And I'll tell you, I was obsessed about girls. The thrill of the chase, it was like a challenge for me to do it. And I was not earning much, but I wanted to meet girls. And then slowly, I think Facebook came out. That time there was Yahoo chat rooms and all that, MSN, ICQ. You can Google search ICQ chats and all that. This went on, and obviously, as you earn more money, there meeting girls become much more easier. I had a car, and there in Dubai, Filipinas were there. I generally liked Indians initially, but then slowly Filipinas were more broad-minded. I had here and there Russian females. Dubai is a big variety. So there, literally, then when by the time I reached the age 30, I was literally sleeping with a girl almost every single day. Every single day. I had list of numbers, every girl, new girl, and I obviously wouldn't tell the girl that I was with another girl. And I had my own apartment. It was very easy to bring them there. And I'd always bring girls which required less effort. And the ones who were lonely, frustrated, not happy with their life, or their husband, or their boyfriend. I mean, what do I care, man? The highest number of girls, and I don't recommend this, seriously, I don't recommend, was I think I had sex with 6 girls on one given day. I was that crazy. I and I think it's maybe because of my bodybuilding days and the testosterone that I was taking injections and all that, which again don't take. I had incredible amounts of energy, man. Sex, like I literally, I wanted to break some kind of record. Like I was with this girl who I tattooed here, that girl, and we had sex. Like we said, let's have sex from morning till night. We'll stop, take rest, again have sex, eat food, again have sex. In the shower, in this, in the bedroom, in the kitchen, in the this, in the that. And, crazy. In the car, we'll go somewhere to see a movie and there we'll try to do. Then we'll go in the building and that's crazy, man. And that time, what? What was my priority? None. I was not serious about life, nothing. But like they say, as age catches up, you get to know yourself more, you focus on what matters. And at some point, I realized it was less of the sex. Maybe because after I stopped testosterone and the injections and all that, I realized I was looking more for a friend. I was looking more for a companion to talk to, enjoy. And yes, sex was also important. And yes, attractive girls. And I really wanted someone whom I could, have common interests, hobbies. That is why then I started to go for girls who had sporting interests. Like I was a marathoner, half marathoner. I would date girls who were into that. And then when I moved into triathlon, more or less the same kind of girls in that also. And this went on until obviously at some point you think of marriage. Yeah, I did have the marriages, but those were more gimmicky marriages. You can check my videos where I spoke about the marriages. Marriage for me was more like a game. It didn't mean anything. But then finally, I think I was searching for settling down. You reach a point where you think, have a wife, have a family, have a savings, have a child. And that proved to be the hardest part. I mean, getting girls was very easy. Sleeping around, at least for me, was easy. Because there are a lot of frustrated single females in UAE, Dubai. But settling down was hard because all of them, either they had children or baggage from another relationship, or they wanted to settle down because they were looking for someone who was rich, or they were uh, gold diggers, or they were like, I don't know, they just, they had their agendas, you could say. And then finally, I think where I decided to stop was after my 2011 that suicide thing, where when you don't have money, when you don't have money, when you don't have health, when you don't have friends, when you don't have a career, when you don't have anything, the last thing, forget girls. Girls though will leave you. Girls, guys, everyone will leave you. But when you don't have this, like I tell people, when you don't have food to eat, when you don't have water to drink, when you don't have a place to stay, and you are hungry for a whole day, try not eating for a whole day. The last thing you'll think about is sex. The last thing you'll think about is a girl. And in those moments when I was alone, I was like, what am I doing with my life, man? And obviously, then you start focusing on what matters. Yeah, you want to enjoy with whatever is fun, but you realize if I don't take care of what matters, I'm going to get jacked, man. And then obviously, age, lowering testosterone, increasing responsibility. And once after you get married and you have a partner, I think you constantly think about savings, money, future. And because I'm elder to my wife and I'm taking care, like there's a 12, 13 years gap. And obviously, my babies, they are both dependent on me. I have to take care of them. I'm the leader, I'm the man of the house. I need to pay water, electricity, food, expenses, stay, so many things. I have to think about the future, which they don't think about. I have to think of emergency. And when you have so many things in your head, the last thing you think about is sex. Like they say, the more stressed you are, the less your sexual appetite. I think now, at the age of 46, when I look back, I think there was like this graph where it goes up and comes down. And it was fun and sex and, big numbers. And I was trying to validate myself like, oh, I'm special. See how many girls I am smart. I am handsome. Look at me. I used to parade these girls. Seriously, go to parties with two girls or one girl or new girl every day. And people used to see, and I thought I was showing them who's the boss. But then you reach a point where suddenly you realize the world doesn't care, man. What they care about is money and position. And when you're older, all this is nonsense. Your age group people are settled down. And your age group people don't find this amusing. When you're young, you're the guys who say, hey, fuck, cool, man, you got this hot girl. And so then that curve starts going down. And obviously, the curve goes down because, the other curve goes up, money and career. And so one curve is going up, and the curve is going down. And the down one is the sex and girls. And then you ask yourself what really matters. Once upon a time, I was a guy who just to meet a girl, I wouldn't mind traveling or waiting for the whole day from 6 in the morning till maybe 10, 11, 12 in the night. Just one girl, just to hold her hand, talk to her, or maybe the chance of a peck or kiss or sex. Today, even if, and this has happened, girls invite me, not one, four, five, and say, let's have a good time together. Nobody will know. Not interested, man. What? What you'll do? End of the day, what? 5 minutes? After I climax, what? Then what? And normally, if there's no passion and love involved, after you climax, you're just like, okay, done with, thank you very much. You just want to clean yourself. Bye bye. Okay, take care. Yes, take the money. That's why older men get, the more sex becomes a transaction. Sad to say, but this is the reality. For me, sex is just a need, a urge, like hunger. Eat something, stomach full, enough. And then when you're hungry again, that's it. And for me, this hunger for sex, before it used to be, I don't know, before it used to be every 2, 3 hours. Now it's once in 2 weeks, once in sometimes even a month. And you'll be like, hey, what about your wife and all that? That she'll learn to control. That is her problem. For her, more than sex, she gets a lot more turned on when I earn a lot of money. I put it in the savings for her that one day when I die, she and baby girl sorted out. Her head is on her shoulders. She's not like one of those, I don't know, other kind of women who, oh, I need to be satisfied. That's why I took a humble, simple female. So yeah, in hindsight, do I have regrets? I would just say that it was a passing phase. There was nobody to guide me. I was a young man all alone. Obviously, what does a young man think? And it was a passing phase, man. And what would I advise younger? If I meet younger guy or Loy or the younger Loy Machedo or someone young, I would just tell them, fine, you want to enjoy, enjoy. But just keep in mind that none of what you're doing right now will matter later on. And eventually you'll realize, okay, I did all this, but it's all for nothing because it doesn't count. So if you want to live each day to the fullest and enjoy and sex and this and that, but keep a perspective. And yes, I was lucky that staying in UAE, Middle East, they test people regularly. So there is STD testing every year when you want to renew your visa or whatever. So everyone was safe. But like in Thailand and India, most of the people don't test each other. And if one person has STD, it will just spread. So luckily, I never got STD. Anyway, what I want to tell you through this video in a nutshell is life is a phase, We go through being a bad guy, neutral, then try to be a good guy, or some people, good guy to bad guy. For me, I was a playboy, enjoyed those days. Whether people believe me or don't believe me, I'm telling you, I had my fun for whatever it was worth. But there's no way I would ever want to go back to it because it's pointless. It's just an utter waste of time. I would rather go visit a new country, learn something new about the culture, or go for some education, or a lot more beautiful things you can do than just sex and girls. And as you get older, you'll realize this. Thankfully, I'm very happy that people say you're important. Yeah, I'm very happy because now my head is never there. It's focused on work, my brand, and what matters, what pays my bills, and what takes care of my future. I get more of a turn on, hard on, or whatever when I complete my work or do my project or even play a video game or read a book. So priorities have changed. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Agree, disagree, feel free. It's me signing off. You guys take care. Ciao.